I'm scared of love in a way that's hard to explain without sounding like I'm overthinking. But it's not really overthinking when you've seen what it can do to people. Sure, it sounds beautiful when people talk about it, like it's soft and safe, like it's something that just happens and stays gentle forever. But what I've noticed is that it doesn't stay gentle for everyone. Sometimes it changes shape. Sometimes it's something you don't even recognize anymore. And when you're still holding on, like it's supposed to feel the same. I think what scares me the most is how much trust it requires. I'm basically giving someone access to parts of me that I that you don't fully understand yourself. You show them your thoughts when they're messy, your silence, and when you don't know how to explain things, your habits, your fears, the little things you hide from everyone. And for a while, it feels okay, like maybe this is what being misunderstood is supposed to feel like. But there's always that quiet thought in the back of your mind asking, what happens if they leave? Or what happens if they change? Or what happens if they were never as important to them as they were to you? That's the part that scares me the most because the idea that endings exist at all scares me because I basically spent so much time with this person. I devoted everything to them just for them to wake up one day and just decide that they don't want to be with me anymore. Because once you've seen how easily someone can become a stranger, it makes you question if you should have ever even gotten close to them in the first place. And the worst part is that you don't even learn this in a dramatic way most of the time. It's usually quiet, a slow distance, less energy, shorter replies, conversations that felt alive or just feel like effort. You start to notice it because it's officially real, but you can't stop it just by noticing it. I don't think people talk about I don't think people talk enough about how love doesn't just hurt when it ends, but also while it exists. There's a vulnerability in caring about someone that makes everything feel slightly unstable, like you're always one moment away from losing something you didn't even realize. And when things are good, there's a strange awareness that good things don't always stay that way. That awareness doesn't ruin everything, but it sits underneath like a background noise you just can't seem to turn off. The confusing part is that I want it anyways. It's all I ever wanted. I've always wanted someone to just love me for who I am and just accept me with welcome arms and treat me like a normal human being. But after everything, it just makes me want to step away. Like there's still something in me that wants to feel close to someone, but just in a human way. To talk to someone and not feel like I have to translate myself. To be around someone and not feel like I'm being watched or judged for how I exist or act just like myself. To matter to someone in a way that feels real and not just a fling or a temporary feeling. But wanting something doesn't remove the fear. It just makes it louder. Because now it's not about just avoiding pain, it's just about risking it for something that might not be worth it. And I don't know how people decide that it's worth it so easily. And I don't think that feeling ever fully goes away. Even when I try to convince myself that I'm fine without love, it becomes quieter, more like a habit than an active fear. I meet someone and a part of me wants to believe it'll be different. But another part of me is already waiting for the signs, already trying to prepare for something that hasn't even happened. It's like living two versions of the same moment at once. The one where things go right, and the one where you're bracing for when they don't. And that's what makes it harder, is that people don't usually mean to hurt you. That's the part that messes with you, that messes with your head, because it would be easier if there was always a clear reason, something you could point to and say, that's why I shouldn't have trusted them. Most of the time, there isn't. Most of the time, it's just life happening, people changing, growing apart without realizing they're doing it until it's already done. And then you're left holding a memory of how it used to feel, trying to not to compare it to what it became. I think I started to understand that love isn't just about connection, it's about timing. And timing is something you don't control at all. You can meet someone when you're not ready or when they're not ready, or when everything is almost right but not fully aligned. And even if the feeling is real, even if it's strong, that doesn't automatically make it permanent. That's a hard thing to accept because when something feels real, you naturally assume it should last. But reality doesn't always follow that logic. there's also this fear of being seen too deeply, not just light, but understood in a way that stripes away the ability to hide. When someone really starts to notice you, they just don't see the version you present. They see the parts you didn't mean to show, and that sounds beautiful. But in practice, it can feel like exposure, like you're standing in front of someone without armor, hoping they don't decide what they see isn't enough. And still, even with all of that, there are moments where their fear fades for a second. Moments where it doesn't feel complicated, it just feels simple. Like laughing with someone and not thinking about what comes next, or having a conversation that doesn't feel like you're being measured or evaluated. These moments can just make everything feel confusing because it reminds me why people risk in it in the first place. They make you question whether the fear is protecting you or just keeping me from something you actually want. But even in the moments, there's a small voice that reminds me to not get too comfortable because something bad is definitely going to happen. Because I've learned in the past that comfort doesn't always mean safety. Sometimes it just means you haven't reached the part where things change yet. And that thought lingers. It lingers because I've seen so many romance animes, movies, shows where it shows what love is supposed to really be like. But then it happens to me and it's just in complete opposite. And it scares me the most because I've spent so much time with this person. I've let this person know everything about me. I've introduced this person to my friends, family, mentioned them to my parents, and just for them to just at the end of the day, they wake up one morning and they realize that I don't want to be with this kid anymore. I don't want to be with him. He's I just lost feelings. That's what scares me because how am I supposed to wake up one day and you tell me this and I'm just supposed to act like everything's fine when it's not? I feel like I just want one person to really understand me and understand what I'm coming from, and just feel like maybe they're my soulmate, I'm theirs. I hate that I get attached so easily when any sort of girl just shows me that one decent act of kindness, and like she tells me a compliment and I immediately fall in love with her. Like I hate doing that because I just feel like when I do that, I build a whole future in my head of what it would be like, and then when that future doesn't happen, it just breaks my heart into a million pieces. And I hate just being like that. I don't know why I'm like this. I try my best to kind of just distance myself away from talking to girls in general because I'm just scared of what will happen if it works, and then one day I always think of the day we break up or the day we stop talking. I don't know why I always think of the worst. Maybe it's just a way to brace myself for when it really happens, or a way of just coping with it, I guess. I know that I probably shouldn't always be like this forever because if I can't love myself, how am I gonna love someone else? I know that maybe I should try opening myself a little bit more and try being more out there, outgoing. And when the time feels right, I think I'll finally be ready. But I just don't think that love right now is just not for me. I don't think that I'm exactly what anyone would be looking for. I think that I should probably focus on YouTube, and if someone meets me, if I meet someone, then I'd rather have it be by an accident than me trying to just slide up in their DMs and just trying to force it rather than letting it happen naturally. I think a lot of people don't realize that love is best when it happens accidentally rather than just forcing it to happen on its own. I hope everyone's been doing well, and I'm so grateful for all 48 of you who are watching, and even the guys on TikTok who are watching. It honestly means a lot, and I hope that one day we both, all of us, get to see this channel grow. I love you guys a lot. Thank you so much for the support I've been getting. Peace.